Hello, how you doing?
You want to see me
I'm a
crush
penis.
You want to see me crush your bottle?
I'm a penis.
We
could.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you have to be like right here. Let's see. Actually, should I turn? I tune up a little bit.
That's good.
I tune up a little bit.
That look good. Alright.
Hello and welcome to D.O.O.M Podcasts.
Where we reach into the depths of our minds to share our experiences, stories, and advice with you. Today's topic is religion. Touchy subject, we know.
I think we probably have to be closer.
Okay, let's test it. Let's just listen and see how it sounds.
Hello.
Are we recording again?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Hello and welcome to D.O.O.M Podcasts.
Where we reach into the depths of our minds to find stories, share experiences, and give our advice to you.
That was a good one, actually.
Thank you. That was just the intro.
So, today's topic will be about religion.
Yes.
Because me and you both don't have a normal religion.
We have very interesting perspectives on the topic of religion, seeing as I am an atheist and Damien is a type of Satanist.
I am a Levian Satanist. I do not believe in no God.
Okay.
I do not believe in an overruler either.
Well then, what you are, what your religion is technically under the category of atheism. Yeah.
It's atheistic Satanism, actually.
For those of you who don't know what atheism is, or just think it's someone who has no religion, that is not the case. Atheism, basically, A means no, the prefix A means no, and theism means God. So basically it means no God. That's what we believe as atheists.
Okay, so do you want to share anything about your religion first?
Well, it's not a religion. It is atheism, meaning there is no religion. Basically, it's not only atheism, because I guess atheism is a type of religion in some cases, but my case, it is not. It's just, I don't believe in anything other than evolution. We evolved, like, in the very beginning, and I actually want to refer you, for a better explanation of what I am about to explain, to Bill Wirt's video, The History of Everything, I guess, or something like that. It's something like that. I'll link it in the description, or Damien will. So yeah, but go watch that video if you haven't. It's pretty good. But like how it starts out is nothing is nowhere and everything is everywhere. Nothing is everything and everything is nothing. There was just nothing. And then it goes on for a second of just nothing, and it's like, this is boring. I want to be a thing. I want to be a thing in a place. How about this? A thing in a place. So something just started existing at one point. And a lot of people say that's what makes no sense. Something just started existing at one point. How does that happen? I say if there is a God, or even was a God, that was his only purpose, to create that one thing that existed in that one place, in that void of nothingness. But if that was the case, then again, what was the thing that created that God? Think about that, right? It's weird. Like, like even if, like, think about any religion. If there's this God that created everything, who created God? What created God? How did God become a thing that existed? I don't know. That's a question for me to ask. But yeah, basically I believe that it all started with that one tiny microscopic speck in space that just decided to exist for some reason. And then it multiplied and multiplied because, you know, things happen. And then eventually it just got so big to where it created a big massive gravity, and the big boom happened, and then Earth and all of the other planets and solar systems and galaxies were created. Maybe not in that very instant, but that's how it all started. And Earth just happened to be the planet that we live on, that was one of the planets that was sustainable for life. And it all started, of course, like the planet was just empty. It's just a big, like, place with land and water. And then one day in the water, some chemicals combined and created an organism. And then that started reproducing because asexual reproduction. And then evolution happened because, well, if you don't know how evolution happens, go look it up. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's essentially, if a mutation in DNA happens and then it's passed on through the generations and it survives, then that mutation stays, and that's how evolution happens. So that's what I believe. I believe that's how we were all created. There is no God. There was no God. And if there was, he's dead. That's what I believe.
Okay, actually, that's kind of what my religion is. is that we believe that there's no overruler or anybody that controls us but ourselves.
We are the most powerful species that exists to our knowledge.
Yeah, so what do you call it?
Atheism? Or
No,
what do you
so
mean?
it's like, say, oh, that guy's black, he must be poor. It's like,
Stereotypes?
yeah, so what do you think the stereotype is for Satanism?
Well, for me, to be honest, like, when I think of a Satanist, I think of someone who, like, believes in what is the opposite of God. Because in religions, basically, anything that distracts you from God is considered Satan, or is considered the devil, or evil. And so, I don't know, but that's just, like, my prior knowledge and what I've been told. That might not be true, but my good buddy Anton told me that, so that's kind of what I think. But before then, or, like, to anyone who doesn't really have a good understanding of it, Satanism is people who worship Satan instead of God and want to get into hell instead of heaven and are evil and want to do bad things.
What are the rituals that the stereotype says that we do?
I don't even know. I mean, perhaps, like, draw a pentagram on the ground and try to summon a demon or some shit. Like, I don't know. To be honest, I have no clue.
So what it actually is, so LaVeyan Satanism is a religion founded by Anton Sandor LaVey.
Same guy as the guy who told me about that other shit. By
Yeah.
the way, Anton, the Anton I know, fun fact, he is actually Jewish. So, that's a thing.
Yeah, so we're talking about two different Antons,
Yeah, two different people.
just so you know.
The Anton I'm talking about is Jewish, he's a Satanist.
So our basic religion is that we are realist. We are good to ourselves before we are good to others. So
Oh.
basically, we have to take care of ourselves before we can do anything to others.
So self-preservation. some people might hear that and think like, ooh, so a religion where you're gonna be selfish. Fuck yeah.
Well, actually, it is very selfish.
Mhm.
We believe in greed, selfishness, lust, because it's the natural feeling that humans feel.
Okay, so you believe in like natural chemicals sent through your brain and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we believe in like our emotions and what we feel are an actual thing that we should take care of.
Because that's what you know is real.
Yeah.
That's what you have evidence for.
We don't treat ourselves. We take bad and turn it into useful. So we don't say, "Oh, save me, God, from this." It's like, no, fucking deal with it.
So basically, selfish optimists. From what I'm hearing so far.
Yeah. One of the main things that we do is we believe in sexual freedom. We don't believe that, oh, there's only one gender, because I know that's kind of like cringy. Like,
No one believes there's one gender.
I meant two genders.
Okay.
But I meant like the sexual preference is whatever you want it to be, and we call us what we want, and we believe that freedom is important in it.
So if I were to go into the church of whatever your religion's called, Leviathan.
Yeah, get closer.
Sorry. So yeah, if I were to go into the church of that and just get down on my knees and say, I sexually identify as an Apache attack helicopter, they would not give a shit and they would be cool with it.
Jesus.
That's what happens when I yell.
So basically, they don't care.
They don't care. Cool.
So why do you think people join the church?
I don't fucking know.
From what I just said, what do you think people join the church for?
Probably because they have a friend or know someone who told them about it, and they decided, you know what, that sounds cool, I should do that.
Yeah. So people join the church because they are sick and fed up with other religions, and they wanted something better than just atheism, and they don't want to believe in stupid things like Christianity or
Oof. Shots fired.
I'm sorry if that's just what I'm saying. Like, that's what the people think. That's what goes through their mind.
Well, in my mind, to be honest, if I have, like, one opinion that I truly believe about most religions, at least most of the theistic religions that do believe in gods, or a god, what I believe about those religions is that they're actually not real. They are just a business, and those people that are running it are just trying to earn your money. That's why they say, oh, there's the God, you better be good to him, and you know what he said? He said you should give us money, or you're going to hell.
That was actually a thing that happened.
Yeah.
It was the 92 or 94 thesis that was put on the wall because they thought that it was incorrect.
And I know what you're talking about. Back in, like, England, when someone was, like, decided that they didn't agree with the church, and they were, like, putting a bunch of stuff on the door. They put, like, a list of 100 things on the door or something like that.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
It was 92, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It was about 100.
So what about rituals? What do you think that our rituals are?
I already did that. I already told you that.
No, I mean, like, did you have anything else to say about it?
No. That's
So-
I mean, if I've ever heard anything about Satanism, it's summoning demons, but like that's not for sure. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah, so some rituals are reservations of the ones that have been done before, and they were recreated. So basically, stuff like the Knights Templar and the Indian voodoo. You guys can look that shit up because I don't want to take
Explain it.
forever explaining it because it's very in depth. So like, basically, there's ones where, so in the church, most churches for us, they have this box and it's like a ritual room. And so one of the rituals that we do is just like putting a curse on somebody. So, and though it kind of sounds stupid, but we don't actually believe that it works. We just do it so that we can relieve ourselves because they did something bad to us.
It's kind of a more healthy way to deal with stress, because like I understand how, like, if you think about it, a lot of times recently there have been school shootings and like mass shootings and bad things like that, and you never really know what that reason could be, but like that's just a really good example of unhealthy way of taking out stress or anger, is to hurt others. But like I kind of see where you're coming from here, like where your religion's coming from, because if you're actually just gonna go into a room and put a curse on someone just to like get your anger out, that's a healthy way to do it, because like you don't believe that it's actually gonna happen, and of course it's not going to, because magic isn't real, curses aren't real, or at least as far as we know.
Yeah. So same goes with like the voodoo.
Mhm.
So the voodoo doll, we stick pins in them so that we feel like they're feeling pain. Even though that it actually doesn't work,
Uh-huh.
we won't feel bad if they get fucked up or something, you know? It's
So-
their fault.
So essentially you're saying, like, if you hate someone and they fucking died in a car accident, you'd be happy about it, or you just wouldn't care at all?
We just wouldn't care at all because
Okay.
cause the only reason why we would do these things is if because they did something bad or they did something bad to us.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Just a healthy way of taking out anger or stress.
So basically, it's just the way that we heal ourselves.
It's respectable.
I'm gonna cut that paper out.
That paper sound might have been like very satisfying ASMR. If you guys like ASMR, welcome.
Oh my god.
That just glitched out hard.
So what do you think that we are to ourselves?
To yourselves, people, regular old people. Because like to you, if that's the normal, because like also I'm pretty sure you can't hear me. Sorry. To you, like if everyone is like that and everyone shares that same belief system, to you that's just people. You're just normal.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. We believe that we are our own gods and that we are our own center of the universe, which basically means that like we control our own lives. We don't follow somebody that tells us what to do. And what do you think? Because it's called Satanism, but we don't believe in Satan.
Well, that's probably because of what I said earlier. My Jewish friend Anton was telling me how, like, according to several religions, Satan is just anything that distracts you from God. And
Yeah.
what you're doing would be considered sinning in other religions, so therefore it is technically Satan.
Yeah, so Satan for us is a symbol of freedom, liberty, and pride.
So like it's the opposite of so you see Satan as like the opposite of religion, and religion is restraining and unfree in your mind, so Satan is the opposite, therefore it's freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the reason why we call it Satanism is because it trumps everybody else and their religion because they think that Satan is bad. So that's why we are called it.
Okay.
So theistic Satanisms worship Satan and believe Satan is worthy of devotion instead of God. Atheistic Satanism do not worship Satan, they believe in God. They don't believe in God, actually. Satan is a symbol to represent the view that the human is his own God. We are adversaries. We are adversaries.
Adversaries.
Yeah.
You said that word wrong twice.
So, do you know what that means?
Not necessarily.
So, like, we it's basically what I've been saying before. We don't care about other people.
Selfish pricks. Not really though. Just selfish people.
Yeah. So, if you're doubting that this is all incorrect, this was all actually said by Anton. So,
okay, so basically,
Anton's the priest, not Anton on Discord.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm getting from this and what I'm understanding from it, and also I want to put out a disclaimer. Damien, though he is what he claims to be, a Satanist that is like selfish, quote unquote. To be honest, like this guy, he's not just completely selfish. Like it's not like you only care about yourself, because like this guy's done a lot for me. He's a really good friend of mine for a good reason, because he does care and he does do cool things for me and with me. It's not just all about him, it's just he puts himself first. If he has problems, he'll deal with them before he comes to hang out with me or do good things with me, basically.
Yeah, basically we put ourselves first.
Yeah, so by no means are they selfish and like bad guys, like, because someone like me who believes that like people deserve attention sometimes and like, you know, just if someone's completely selfish, I kind of think they're a prick. For someone like me to be friends with a guy who's in a religion that people claim is quote unquote selfish because of what information he just told us, that wouldn't be a thing if he was really completely selfish. I'm just like stating that because like it's not what it sounds like exactly. He's still selfless sometimes, but like selfishness comes before selflessness, basically.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so Satanism is a tool for us to get the best out of our lives, because we always believe that we should put ourselves first because it's the most healthiest for ourselves. And wouldn't you agree?
Self-preservation.
Yeah. So the rituals and tools are not required, or I mean unrequired. So self-transformative psychodrama, a way of going into theatrical space where we relic emotions that hinder us. So basically it's kind of like the truth box at, I think it's Catholicism or
Catholicism. I'm not sure.
Catholics. So they have a box, and it's like one sits on the other, priest sits on the other side, and then they confess their sins.
Yeah.
So, but for us, we have no sins. We just believe that we need to get our emotions out, and the reason why we do this is so that we don't harm others.
Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. And to me, from what I'm hearing about this religion is like I would honestly possibly be a part of it at some point. Like I would be fine with being a part of this religion if I was like born into it or like converted into it. I've just been an atheist because I haven't heard of anything like this. To me, before this moment, like all religions believed in some sort of God. And now, like, what you're telling me has kind of opened my eyes to the fact that not all religions are theistic, and that some of them can possibly just be what you're describing here, and, like, you know, just cool.
Yeah.
And you know, one thing that I really agree with, like probably the thing about your religion that I agree with the very most out of everything you've told me, is that you are in fact your own god. And I would say even an atheist like myself who isn't part of any religion could agree with that. People are their own gods. People do have control of their own lives. There are quotes out there by really intelligent, famous people that are things such as, the only way to predict your future is to create it. Not sure who said that, but I know that is a quote from someone who is relevant.
I'll probably edit that part in.
Yeah,
and let
if you
it
can
be,
find
like,
it.
It like pair up when you say it.
Okay, so yeah, I do really agree with that because like if you put your mind to anything, you can do it. I mean, like you might say, oh, you can't fly. Bet. What did the Wright brothers do? They put their mind to it. They flew. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. You can't dig to the core of the earth. Bet. I mean, someone probably could eventually. Might not be me, but if I wanted to, I probably could. I want to be a YouTuber. I'm trying to make that happen, and if it does, then my point is proven. You know?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So another thing is like when we do these rituals, we don't take it with us. We keep all the bad emotions in that box, and then we feel a whole lot better. We don't think that the needles. I've said this before, but we don't think that the needles or the rituals actually do something, but it makes us feel better, and we don't feel bad for karma. We actually believe in karma. 'Cause, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, karma could easily be a real thing, and if it is, who knows what controls it. And I don't think it is, to be honest. I think all of the karma situations that we've heard about or seen are just purely coincidental, but it does happen often enough to where people might be like, oh, this is real. And to me, it's just everything happens for a reason. No matter what that reason is, that reason might be completely irrelevant. Like, maybe I dropped my shoe, or not my shoe, maybe I dropped my phone for the very reason that I could pick it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything happens for a reason. That reason might not be a good reason or a relevant reason, but everything happens for a reason, and, like, maybe the reason this guy just got fucking punched is because he robbed some chick, you know? And I mean, usually it is, because, like, if you see someone, like, grab a chick's purse and run down the street, your reaction is probably gonna be to punch him square in the fucking face and take the purse back to her, right? That's the reason it happened. It's not necessarily karma, it's just human nature.
Yeah. So the Church of Satan is a group of association of individuals. The people of the church navigate. Wait.
When you can't read your own handwriting.
Reconcile.
Reconcile.
Okay, I'm gonna cut that part out.
Okay.
The definition by Anton. It's not really a building. It's more of people and their philosophy.
Okay. So, like, the church isn't about, like, a place that you can go to be with this community that believes in the same system as you.
So, there doesn't have to be a building that we have to constantly go to.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Have you ever actually done these things? Have you ever, like, set curses on people or used a voodoo doll?
All the time.
Great. Do you have a voodoo doll of me? That's a great question.
No, because there would no need for it.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Who do you have a voodoo doll of? Like, someone I know.
I don't know. Cat?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. Wow, okay. GG.
There's a guy in one of my schools that, like, we ended up fighting over some stupid thing. I don't really remember what it was. It's probably because he stole my longboard or something. So we ended up getting into a fight, and I won. And then I also put a curse on him, and then he got suspended from the school.
So sometimes the curses do work, like coincidentally. At
It's
least.
just coincidental.
Yeah.
Eventually, something does happen to some people. So.
That's true. You can put a curse on anyone and be like, one day something bad will happen to you, and it's most definitely true.
Yeah.
I like how you just hear the Watch Mojo intro start playing in the middle of my fucking sentence.
Yeah. I didn't mean to do that.
Clearly.
So, one thing, because I've learned like all this stuff, and I just wrote it down just so I knew what I wanted to talk about. I learned all this stuff from like books. A lot of what do you call them? Laboratories. A lot of laboratories don't have the actual
You mean
like
libraries?
books. Well, I mean,
what's a laboratory?
oh,
Library.
I was just in the moment, couldn't think of anything. So most libraries don't have them, but some of them do, and that's where I got my information from. I also searched like things, because there's videos online of Anton actually talking, and it's really cool to hear the things that he has to say. So like, I'm just reading some stuff, interesting facts. Are there any questions that you have?
I've asked all of the ones that have come up already.
Here, I'm gonna talk about more about the rituals, because there's a lot.
Okay.
But it's fucking hot as shit.
I know. We cooled off our room on purpose, then we come back in here. It's already hot somehow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read some questions, see if you can answer them, and then I'll read you the actual answer.
Okay.
So there's one question. It's like, do I have to be a part of rituals if I join the Church of Satan?
Probably not.
Yeah. So no, the ritual is meant as a tool and is not required amongst most people. A lot of the people just go there just to find out and see. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's what about what is a satanic ritual?
Stabbing a voodoo doll or cursing someone. But that's because you told me that.
Yeah. So greater magic, which is our name for our ritual practice, is basically meant as a self-transformal psychodrama. So I don't know what else to talk about.
Are we already done? This is a shorter one than the last one. Seems like our podcasts keep getting shorter and shorter with every one we record. Like, the first one's like 2 hours, and then 45 minutes, and now like 30 minutes.
Okay, so a psychodrama is a form of psychotherapy in which patients act out events from their past. No. A play, movie, or novel in which psychological elements are the main interest. That actually makes more sense.
You didn't know that before?
Mm-mm. So let's just talk about stories that we've had about religions. Do you have any stories?
No.
Really?
I mean, I've never been part of a religion. I've been born and raised atheist. I mean, my great some amount of great grandpa is actually Brigham Young, which is really ironic because I've been an atheist my entire life, and so is my family. Actually, I think it was my grandpa who was the one who converted from Mormonism to atheism. So it hasn't been too long since this line of Brigham Young's family has been atheist. So that's interesting, I guess. It's kind of an interesting story, but it's not really like a story. It's just an interesting fact, you know.
Mm-hmm. I don't have many stories. I just remember like so. Why was the reason that you come atheistic? Is it just like you were just born into it?
Yeah, I was born into it, and I've been raised atheist. Like, my parents have always been atheist. Actually, my mom isn't necessarily atheist, but she's one of those people who believes there's something, but it's not necessarily any religion. I don't understand those people, to be honest. I mean, I have nothing against them. Like, maybe they're just thinking, oh, we gotta have some purpose, you know. And I personally don't think we have a purpose. Our purpose is to make our lives as good as we can and enjoy them before they're over. That's our purpose, in my opinion. But to some people, they're like, no, our purpose has to be bigger than that. There's got to be some sort of God. But I'm not gonna say it's Mormon or Christian or freaking Jewish or any of the other religions. They're not gonna say that because they don't necessarily believe in that because all the fine print makes no fucking sense to them, like atheists. But so they just make up something. They're like, oh, there's just a God, and if you're good, you go to heaven. It's like, okay, bud, you just literally made that up, yet you believe it. I don't know. But essentially, like, my mom is one of those people, and I don't know. She never like tried to teach me anything about God or like be a good boy, shit like that. She never tried to teach me any of that because of religion. I mean, she taught it to me. She taught me how to be a good guy, but she didn't teach it to me because of any religion. I've just been born and raised atheist, and my dad has like shown me evidence and taught me about how like there's no possible way a God could exist. And I mean, it's not necessarily evidence because people can always be like, well, there's no evidence he doesn't exist. It's like, I mean, the fact that there's no evidence he does exist is evidence that he doesn't exist, in my opinion. But, it's like, to me, because, like, a lot of religions say, like, oh, our God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving. Then why are there people suffering in the world? He either doesn't know about them, which makes him unknowing, he doesn't love them, which doesn't make him all-loving, or he can't do anything about it, which won't make him all-powerful.
Yeah, it's like if there is a God, why were we so special?
Yeah, true.
We're just regular animals that became self-aware.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, also, like, just saying, like, God is all-powerful is also impossible because of a simple, paradox. Can God create a rock or create anything so heavy that he can't lift it? Well, if he can, then he's not all-powerful because he's not powerful enough to lift that thing that he created. But if he can't, then he's also not all-powerful because he's not powerful enough to create something that he himself can't lift. Therefore, it is impossible for anyone or thing to be all-powerful. You see what I'm saying?
So
it makes no sense.
Yeah. So I wasn't born into any religions. I know that I practice like Christianity, Catholicism, and Christianity or Mormonism. Mm-hmm. I think I've said them all. Anyways, so like I wanted to try Mormonism because I thought it was a kind of interesting. But then when I got to it, I was just like, I feel like I'm an idiot.
Why?
I feel like that I can do something better than this because I don't feel like there's somebody over there that's just like, oh, hi, I'm here now. Like,
yeah.
What if there's so many planets that, because even though there's not evidence, it's infinite. Of course there's going to be some other planet that has life. Does every planet have its own god? And what about the heaven and hell? Where's the evidence for that? All we know is that there's a freaking gigantic ball in the middle of the earth, and
in the middle of the earth,
in the center of the earth,
like the core.
Yeah.
You mean yeah?
And then there's also clouds, which are made from pretty much vapor and water.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that is true. That's not really evidence for heaven and hell. But, like, in my opinion, the fact that, like, the idea of heaven and hell exists, like, because in most religions they're saying, oh, Satan runs hell and he tortures all the bad people. Why the fuck would he do that when he himself is a bad person? Why would he torture people that are like him?
Yeah, wouldn't it just be another heaven?
Yeah, wouldn't it just... I mean, honestly, in my opinion, if a religion is real, I'd rather go to hell. I mean, unless, of course, the religion exists where God runs hell and the devil runs heaven. In that case, I'd rather go to heaven. But, like, whatever the devil's running, that's where I want to be. Because, like, God's a good guy. Oh, he's gonna punish the bad people. But the devil, he'll be the guy that's fucking cracking open a door and being like, there's 5 big-titted whores. Go knock yourself out. God's not gonna do that shit. That's a sin. You feel me?
So, like, that's kind of, like, what my mind went through. Because I was like, this makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, like, a lot of it doesn't. And that's kind of a reason I've stayed atheist. Because, like, I've heard so many things like that. Like, yeah, if Christianity is real, I want to go to hell. What the hell? Heaven's gonna be boring. What do? Sit up there and have a nice friendly conversation with your friends? What happens when you run out of things to talk about?
There's just gonna be straight white people there.
Yeah. No gays. I mean, think about it. Like, there's this part in a Bo Burnham special where he was like, well, actually, the truth is, I've been to Christian hell. It went a little something like this. I wrote a song about it. Hitler was there, but so were all the Jews, so it was really awkward. Think about it. Jews don't believe in Christianity, therefore that is a sin, therefore they are in hell. Hitler killed people. That is a sin, he is in hell. They'd both be in hell. What the fuck happens then?
So, we aren't trying to bash your religion if you believe in something
Yeah,
else. This is just
what I've heard stories about, like, what people have told me and why I believe in atheism as opposed to any other religion, because, like, that's the only one that makes sense to me.
yeah, it's just what we believe and what we think.
Yeah.
Just so you can see the mind of a Satanism or a LaVeyan Satanism or
An atheist.
yeah.
If you are offended by this video, stop watching it, you dumbass. That's all I have to say.
Well, so the video was talking about at the thumbnail. It says atheism versus LaVeyan Satanism.
Yeah.
So if you clicked on the video, I'm glad that you watched. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and there will be another part 2. Well, there will be part 2.
Will there?
Because yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you I'm gonna buy the books because there's 3 of them. There's 3 main ones, written by Anton himself. I'm going to give them to you. You can read them, and then we can talk about it more.
Okay. All right. I'll
Yeah.
read them. I'm down.
All right. So because this one's a bit short, I think we both will just upload 2 on Thursday, or actually we'll do 1 Thursday, and then there will be coming 1 Sunday.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Goodbye.
So, Baxometeor and
Kenzin.
signing out.
See ya.
Should we probably do the intro so that we actually have our names in it?
I don't know. We could. But, like, the intro I did was really good, remember?
Yeah. This is by Axel.
And I'm Kenzin. And then we just play the outro, or the intro after that. Great!
Where's my mouse? Oh.
Up your ass.